Now, as of today, more than 40% of home health employees have not been vaccinated, and just a couple more months away from that mandatory requirement. Reporting here in Greensboro, I'm Cassie Sherm, ABC 45 News. Time 3, 2, 1. Now, as of today, more than 40% of home health employees have not been vaccinated, and the clock is ticking for that mandatory requirement. In just
40% not vaccinated.
ABC 45 News, I'm Cassie Sherm. Back to you.
Don't believe a word she's saying. So as mainstream media rehearses their script of lies and fear, and as ABC Local 45 reporter Cassie Sherm fixes her hair on a hot summer day in Greensboro, North Carolina on Thursday, July 30th, 2021, July 29th, 2021 rather, as she works on rehearsing her script of lies and fear, you're seeing people across the street here, and you're going to see many more coming up at the Greensboro protest, the health workers protesting against the Cone health system, the Baptist health system, and the Novant health system, against medical mandates, medical tyranny, and medical rape in regards to this experimental use authorized, not FDA approved clinical trial drug made by criminals. You're going to see ABC Local 45, Cassie Sherm, Channel 2 Local, totally disregarding the human aspect, the human stories behind the objection to this shot. And because of this platform, and because I need to get this message out to as many possible people as I cannot mention and say what I would like to say. So if you'd like to see the full video coverage of the entire protest from beginning to end, I encourage you to right now click on the drop-down menu in this video and click on the link in the description for my Odyssey channel. ODYSEE.com. Go within to get out on Odyssey. And I would encourage you to please share this video with everyone you know and love. If you want independent journalist reports like this, if you want a camera at these events showing what truly happened, how many people are truly there, and the human stories behind these signs, and behind these masks that some of these folks are hiding behind because fear of reprisal from the hospital system. If you want the real human story, then please click on that link in Odyssey and find me on there, and you will get the censorship-free version of this video and the entire coverage of the entire protest and all of my conversations with these nurses, doctors, and healthcare workers and family members that were there to support them. Please get on over to Odyssey and subscribe to my channel there. And please share this video with everyone you know and love. Because if we do not, the mainstream media is going to paint these folks as someone to blame, as a scapegoat. Right? The pandemic of the unvaccinated. Pandemic of the unvaccinated. This is the narrative we are up against. We are up against total tyranny worldwide, every country. Australia's under stage 5 martial law lockdowns in Sydney. Peaceful, innocent protesters, healthy individuals getting their heads cracked all over the world right now. For something we can't even see. Australia using helicopters in the army to enforce its zero COVID lockdown. as thousands of police flood Sydney to enforce the rules and hand out $500 no mask fines with just 17% of adults vaccinated. 5 million people under strict stay-at-home order because of a surge of nearly 3,000 infections since June. We're in August now. 300 Army personnel will help police go door to door to ensure people who have tested positive are isolating. Ministers tried to tackle pandemic through isolation and closed borders, but concerns grow over Delta variant. So we are facing a narrative of new variants, new strains, pandemics of the unvaccinated, just as they blame the folks who wouldn't wear a mask last year, who wouldn't bow down to tyranny, just as they blamed those folks last year for the quote-unquote cases rising and people not being able to open their businesses or go and live their lives. We are seeing it. Next level, steroid level, hysteria, fear, propaganda, and BS. So if you'd like to continue to see these independent reports of events like this, I encourage you, please.
Welcome back, everyone.
Please
Trying to
share
cover this
video.
event because we know the mainstream media is not going to cover it, and if they do, they're going to cover it in a light that paints us to be, you know,
we're talking to a reporter.
Lunatics and, you know, all these different kinds of things where we're just simply asking questions. We want our freedom of choice, right? I don't work for them, but I'm a concerned citizen and concerned human on this earth, and
We don't work for them either.
you don't work for them either? You're just out to
No,
support?
but, well,
We have kids that do,
You do.
we have kids that do, but I think we'd be out here
and they've been
anyway.
threatened to lose their jobs if they're out here.
It's absolutely insane.
It is.
For an emergency use authorized product from an industry, Big Pharma, that started the opioid epidemic. So a few years ago, right? Remember when 2016?
Yeah.
With when they were running for president, right? The presidential election, they're talking about taking down Big Pharma and holding them accountable for all these things that they did about the opioid epidemic. And now all of a sudden in 2021, 5 years later, it's you have to take Big Pharma's product. You have to. That's not the country that coercion, bullying, propaganda, BS, medical assault. I love it.
I love it too, although I copied it from someone this morning.
My name's Andy. You could find me on YouTube if you.
So here, I'm just going to scroll through and show you a little bit of the protest, how many people were there. I would say about 300 people there. Beautiful kids supporting their moms and their dads and their brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles. You just heard that family briefly say that their kids work there and that's why they're there. And they can't even be out there to protest because they were coerced and threatened, rather, with their jobs if they went out and protested against this. My right to refuse, my body, my choice, forced to get jabbed, and vaccine rape. This beautiful woman and her friend working there for over 25, 30 years. Healthy woman, all into natural health, just wants her right to choose. If you want to see more reports like this, independent journalism, independent reports, I am covering all of these events. I covered the event in Charlotte to protest against the Atrium Health System and the Novant Health System in Charlotte. It's primarily Atrium Health, but if you'd like to see more reports like this, folks, I need some support. I am down to my last couple $100. I am technically homeless without a dwelling and dumping every dollar I have into putting gas in my tank to cover these events. I drove up from Charlotte, North Carolina to Raleigh, North Carolina last evening, August 3rd, Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, to attend and cover the protest starting at the governor's mansion at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, August 4th, 2021. And if you'd like to see more of these reports, please, I need your support. If you can support me financially, that would be amazing. I've already had some donations rolling in that have enabled me to get to this event here today. I'm sleeping on a friend's couch on his deck outdoors on his porch. And boy, am I so grateful to have a roof over my head and a couch to lay my head on. Even though it's 5:30 a.m., the birds are chirping and I'm working. So I am dedicated to this cause to tell these nurses and doctors stories. Even though I do not agree with the allopathic system of medicine, I am totally into natural health and holistic health. I am there to support these women, these men, their families, their babies. I met a mother with 6 kids. Even though I disagree with the system in which they operate in, I am all in support of these folks here today. And if we do not share this message as far and as wide as we possibly can, we're going to be in trouble. So please, friends, I need your help. Please share this message. Please share this video with everyone you know and love if you want to continue to see reports like this, telling the human side of things, the human story. We are so much stronger together, and we can transcend differences and build a better world. We have to, right now, we have to come together across religious beliefs, across political beliefs. We need to put our differences aside once and for all. We need to look in the mirror and ask, what have we done to contribute to this world, to contribute to this divide and the evil we're seeing in the world? Look at all these beautiful people, peaceful people who just want the right to choose. Even nurses and doctors that have taken this rushed experimental emergency use authorized, not FDA approved gene therapy, genetic manipulation, as this woman's sign says right here, gene manipulation. Even the folks that have taken this are standing out there in solidarity with these folks to preserve and protect their right to choose, because you may not agree. You may think, if you're listening out there, that folks need to get this to protect others. But maybe sometime in the future, there might be a medicine that they're mandating that you don't want to take. So if we allow this precedent to be laid down to bear at the barrel of a gun through economic terrorism and threatening people's livelihoods and ability to feed their children, if we allow this to stand, then we are in big trouble. So please, friends, help me share this message. Help support my work. If you can't contribute financially, I understand these times are so trying. Our shekels are so important. Inflation is on the rise. The price of food is going up. The price of gas is going up. The price of lumber is going up. The price of everything is going up. I understand. But if you can help me just a little bit, $1 here, $1 there, $5 here, $5 there, that would mean the world to me. I've raised almost $200 in the past 4 days since I started asking for some help. Thank you to Sandy, Jamel, Jim, Beth, Brandon, Amanda, Paige. Thank you to all of my supporters out there, those of you that have been with me on this journey, on this ride, on this adventure from the beginning. Welcome new subscribers, new fans, new brothers and sisters out there, humans on this earth, breathing real life human beings, men and women. My brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me. Thank you for finding your way here. please hear my message. Go within to get out is all about the journey inward. It's all about trauma healing. It's all about overcoming adversity. It's all about humility. It's about admitting I was wrong many, many, many times in my life, and I'm going to continue to be wrong because I'm naturally flawed. I'm naturally imperfect, and I make mistakes because I'm a living, breathing man, and I'm not perfect. I have good and evil inside of me, as all of you do as well. And many of us out there have been badly, badly wronged in our lives, growing up in this oppressive society. But it's time to put that victimhood down, put it aside, face those demons, find that mirror, ask, what have I done? Be kind and gentle on yourself, because it's not easy to face those traumas, and some of you have been terribly, terribly wronged in the most vile, heinous, disgusting of ways. And I'm not here to minimize anyone's trauma. It's not a competition, it's not a contest. This is about a deeper journey, asking the big questions in life. Why am I here? Why are you here on this earth? Why do you have your feet planted on this earth right here, right now, in this moment? Is it to bow down to these tyrants who happen to be friends with Jeffrey Epstein, many of them, who talk out of both sides of their mouth, who do not hear the voices of the people that they're meant to serve and protect? Doctors and nurses swore an oath to do no harm, to respect a patient's right to choose what experiments, what surgeries, what medicines that they put in their bodies. And now they do not have the right to choose. If they do not take this shot, they have to get tested twice a week with tests that the FDA just announced a full Schedule 1, Class 1 recall, the most serious of recalls of both the PCR diagnostic panel and the ANOVA antigen test. Both recalled, both still in use, both feeding the fear porn that's being put on the mainstream media every single day. New case, new death, new case, new death, new case, new death, new case, new death. All because of flawed, fraudulent PCR tools. Whom the inventor of said PCR diagnostic, Dr. Kary Mullis, said in no uncertain terms, this cannot tell you whether or not you're sick. And here we are, recalled tests still being used, innocent, peaceful people just trying to live their lives, being threatened with their livelihoods, with promises of greener pastures ahead if you'll just comply, if you'll just take this one, right? Bill Gates, Dr. Bill Gates, I identify as a doctor, Bill Gates, friends with Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, talking about last year on CNN and MSLSD and all these other mainstream platforms that the only way back to normal is with a good vaccine. Here we are, you got your good vaccine, Mr. Gates, and nothing is back to normal. If this is normal, then I'd hate to see what total insanity is, because this sure feels like we're living in it. And the only answer, you may buy yourself some time with a religious exemption and things of that nature, but the only answer, in my opinion, is the word no. Outright no. Walk away. No job is as important as your life. There is no job as important as your life. Your children depend on you being healthy. Your husband, your wife depends on you being healthy. Your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your grandfather, your children, your niece, your nephew, your cousins. The future of the human race, the human species, is on the line right here, right now. What is the human race made of? What are we made of? We can build a better world. Let's create our own hospitals. Let's create our own farmers markets. Let's create our own communities that defend one another, that feed one another, that support one another. Let's return to nature. There is a place in this world for folks like this, for you folks, you healthcare workers who want to help people. There is a place in this world for you. But pharmaceutical drugs and endless surgeries, enriching these hospitals, these CEOs of these hospitals and billionaires that are funding this allopathic system like the Rockefellers and the Gates and the Bezos and the Musks of the world. There has to be a better solution out there, and we need to take advantage of your heart because your heart is in the right place. You want to help people. That's all you've ever wanted to do, was to help people when you started on your journey. But unfortunately, what we've learned is that thanks to Johns Hopkins research, we know that almost 250,000 folks die of medical errors every year. I'm sure most of you are well aware of this. Over 100,000 folks die of prescription drug use every year, using as prescribed. That's doing harm. That's something I think that is unacceptable. And I know you're not doing it on purpose. This is just a flawed system that's corrupt to its core. Please help me share this video with everyone you know and love so I can continue doing this work. You can find a link in the description below for my PayPal. Keep an eye out for more videos to come from Greensboro, from Charlotte, from Raleigh. I will not stop. I will not stop until they shut me up. And I'm here. I'm fighting for you. Fight for me. Thank you all. I love you all so much. Thanks for your support. I'll see you in Raleigh. Let's go get them. Just say no.